Hello everyone, Storm 101 here. Today we'll be having an update on the tropics here. We have some good news from Marco, but not so much of any good news yet from Laurel uh, at this time here. So we'll start off with the good news here, and that's going to be about Marco. We actually have died down due to wind shear in the area of where Marco currently is. 50 miles per hour, it was a Category 1 hurricane, which I believe it was 75 miles an hour. Now it's been knocked down to 50 miles per hour, so the impacts are not going to be that bad. And more good news for Louisiana. If we go over to Marco here, you can see your satellite imagery here. Your center of Marco is right here, and most of your precipitation is on the northeast side. So if you're going to be on the northeast side of the system here, you'll get the rain. But if you're on the west and south end of the low pressure system, you should be fine completely, really. Just gotta watch for those winds. So although a little bit of sunshine can, increase the winds just a little bit there, but the sun will create some energy. That is why there. So it'll make the winds a little bit stronger. But the good news is the impacts is not looking to be as bad of like it was forecasted, which is some really good news there. But if we take a look into their forecast cone here, you got tropical storm warning sailor for the Mississippi-Alabama border to about near Lake Charles there. And we expect this to die down into a tropical depression by tomorrow. So that's some good news there. We'll expect this to die out. Looks to be somewhere around the Houston area as well. So that's some pretty good news there. And again, here's your 10-state guidance. We'll likely see this die off as well. There will also be a little bit of a tornado threat with the remains of Marco here. You got a marginal risk anywhere from around the Mississippi-Alabama border into southern Georgia and pretty much the entire panhandle of Florida. You can see your tornado threat is elevated. You also do have a small tornado threat over Key West there. We do actually have tropical storm warnings there for Laura. Damage winds could also be there. You can see the large hail threat should be staying up in the upper plains during around that time frame as well. So that's pretty much it for Marco there. We probably won't talk much about Marco either tomorrow. Although one thing we'll check here is the storm surge. You can see here anywhere from Morgan City to like Ocean Springs, Mississippi, in this general area can see storm surge 2 to 4 feet, which is not too bad there. So really primary threat's going to be that storm surge, gusty winds. If you're on the far north, if you're going to be on the northeast side of the system, you could get some potentially for a lot of rain from Marco as well. So that's it from Marco. Let's move on to Laurel here, which I guess they just updated it. Yeah, they actually did. As of 11 a.m., 60 miles per hour. So it actually died down a little bit here. Since the last time I take a look at it, it's also a little bit slower, 20 miles an hour, moving west-northwest, and a pressure at 1,002 millibars. So Laura has actually weakened a little bit overnight because it went over a little bit of land. So if we go in and click on Laura here, and let's see, which one should we do first? Let's go to wind speed probabilities. So here's Laura here. You can see your tropical storm force winds probabilities. We're starting to get near 100% by Lake Charles there. You can see here your center of the low pressure is actually over warm waters. It died down because it hit a little bit of land there, which I didn't think I was expecting it to really die down, really, since it's not really hitting much of land at all. It did hit very little land, but it seems like it was enough to at least calm it down just a little bit. So yeah, on that. But if we take a look to the hurricane probabilities, like I said, it's going to be increasing as the confidence increases. So your hurricane wind speed probabilities will now have been upgraded to about 30 to 40%, especially around the Lake Charles area, which is about right in here. So yeah, but definitely something we're going to keep an eye on there. Here's your rainfall potential for the Weather Prediction Center. You can see here some areas could be seeing 6 to 10 inches of rain in west central Louisiana. Even a couple areas inland can see 4 to 6 inches of rain, like across northern Mississippi. You also got another spot into central Kentucky there, which I also do have a rainfall forecast as well, and also do have my cone of uncertainty forecast, intensity forecast, which I'll show you guys that towards the end of the video there. Let's take a look at their updated cone forecast here. So you can see a pretty large cone here overall here, especially when you get over land here, which I don't think there's not that much uncertainty here. I don't think it'll be that far south in my opinion. But you can see here, it seems like they shifted the cone a little bit further to west and actually now includes Houston, portions of Houston there. Really anywhere from just east of Lake Charles to Houston is in that cone area in the next 1 to 3 days. That's a hurricane there. And I don't remember where they have well, it's not a major hurricane though. Seems like last on their last advisory they were forecasting to be 105 miles an hour as a category 2 before a landfall there as well. Here's the flash flood potential for the Weather Prediction Center. You can see here you got a moderate risk where we had that 4 to 6 inches of rain range there. Or actually, not, no, it's actually 6 to 10 inches. My bad. 6 to 10 inches of rain. We do have a moderate risk for flooding in those regions there. So we could see an upgrade to high risk. That is also a possibility. That just depends if the confidence will increase there, which we'll probably likely see for that to happen as we kind of get closer for landfall for Laurel. So let's go over here. Let's take a look to Laurel here. Yeah, I could definitely tell as we get a little bit, it's actually not as organized like it was last night. Definitely calm down a little bit, but convection is really starting to come back up again as well. And as you can see here, your low pressure system is just really the just southwest of central Cuba there. If we go and take a look to the hurricane models here, as you can see here, most of your models bring it landfall really anywhere from Houston, Texas to like around Lake Charles. That's not good news because the further west it goes, the more time it will have to intensify. So the further east it goes for landfall, it'll be not as strong. So it'll be definitely something to keep an eye on. You can see here it goes through Arkansas, then eventually to Tennessee and Kentucky, and then really beyond that, it actually goes back over into the Atlantic off the mid-Atlantic coast there as well for the hurricane models. Let's take a look to some other models here. Here's the GFS ensembles here. Kind of a similar situation here. It's actually a little bit further south, going back over to the waters there. You can see your general track here. Anywhere from Houston, Texas to Lake Charles, going through Louisiana, eastern Texas, Arkansas there, and then through Tennessee and Kentucky, kind of beyond that, moving to the east. Then you got the GFS is almost parallel. See, it's a little bit different, but you can tell it does expect it to become a pretty decent hurricane here for pretty much literally about every member, showing to be a potentially a pretty good hurricane here. The means actually on the average is actually 978 millibars, so that's a hurricane right there by the average there. But you can also see here still some uncertainties here anywhere from nearby New Orleans to actually a little bit quite past Houston there as well. So there's still some uncertainties here with the track here. And here's Tropical Storm Laura intensity guidance here. As you can see here, you do have a couple models at a Category 3 spot, which is possible. Keep in mind, Category 3 is still possible. It's on the table. Although I do believe a Category 2 hurricane is likely with this. It's just that the further west it goes, the more time it has to intensify. So you can see here, a couple of those balls do show bringing it into a Category 3 hurricane as well. Meanwhile, the majority keeps in a Category 1 or even a low end Category 2 hurricane. So that's from the hurricane models there. Let's take a look at the European model. Right now, as of 11 o'clock, it's actually a little bit off. It's actually a little bit more on land right now. It's actually right over here. It's also a little bit faster from the European model. But you can see here, when it gets over the Gulf of Mexico waters, this is sustained winds. We're going to really zoom in here so that we can get a little bit of accurate reading. Indicating winds about up to 70 miles an hour by Tuesday evening. I'll put my phone on the floor so it won't vibrate like crazy. Um, so yet on that. Then if we kind of move on to Wednesday, starts to intensify a little bit more. Wednesday morning, 75 miles per hour. Now, I'll say it's likely underdoing this since the storm system's moving faster. It's also moving a little bit more over land. So I'll say at this point here, the European model is probably going to be underdoing the intensity here. But you can see where it makes landfall near about Lake Charles or the Texas and Louisiana state line. See here, and then kind of go beyond that. There's Friday. And let's turn a wind gust actually this time. So we'll back this up. There's Marco right there. Here's Laurel. We'll turn on wind gust this time. And you can see here, pretty strong wind gust for sure. If I could get my thing, here we go. Yeah, 82 mile per hour gust there. If we move on to Monday evening, the center of the low starts to go over to the Gulf of Mexico. And as you can see here, as we kind of continue on, you're getting wind gusts probably exceeding 100 miles an hour. Then later on, still intensifies. So you're getting wind gusts up to about 120 miles an hour. Then right at landfall, showing wind gusts about 115. You can see here. And then it kind of goes on land. Here, the winds do really become a little bit more gusty again later down the road as well, which is very interesting. Now there's going to be a trough here. You got a low pressure system up here, so that's probably going to help this thing here maybe maintain its strength here. That's definitely a possibility. You can see 75 mile per hour gusts there, southeastern Kentucky, which I don't think it's going to happen, but this trough here may help this system here maintain its strength. It also will bring in a decent amount of rain as well. So let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at the next 10-day rainfall. See a pretty good swath of really 6 to 9 inches of rain generally. You can see Little Rock could see about 5.5 inches. Shreveport 4.5. Alexandria about 5.5. The Lake Charles a little bit over 7 inches of rain. You can see even Memphis there could be seeing decent amount of rain, about nearing 4.5. Nashville a little bit over 2 inches. Then Louisville could be say 2.5 inches. So be definitely something to keep an eye on there. And in my opinion here, you can actually tell where the track is for the system here. In my opinion, I think this is too far north for my taste here, especially where some of the models are now started trending a little bit further south. So I'll say the GFS is kind of an outlier, with the track of being north of the Ohio River at that point. But you can see here, either way, it'll still bring in a lot of rain. You can see here about 5.8 inches of rain by Little Rock, about 6 inches of rain in Alexandria. Lake Charles about 7.5. Shreveport about 3.5 inches. And kind of around Paducah there, about 3 inches. And then Louisville, about close to 3 inches of rain as well. So, but either way, if it does make landfall, weaker or stronger, it'll still bring in a lot of rain either way. It'll still have tons of moisture with it. It just, I mean, for rainfall wise, I mean, if the intensity is going to change, really the rainfall forecast is not really going to change. The only way really the rainfall forecast could change is where the system's going to go. So, uh, yeah, on that. Let's see here. So let's move on to my forecast here. So we'll start off with my cone forecast. This I just updated as soon as I get started with the video. Now I don't really have time to change it now. So here you go here. So let's begin here. Your center of the low is actually right over here. I actually was maintaining at 65 miles per hour. Like I said, I had a feeling that it was able to maintain a strafe, go over a little bit of land, but it seems like that was just enough land to calm it down just a little bit. So that means I'm probably going to put down this number right here. I'll bring this down to 60 miles per hour, bring this down to 65 miles an hour, and I'll probably upgrade this to 70 miles an hour. That'll still be a tropical storm. They will upgrade this foot here to like category 1 with 90 miles an hour. And I think we'll keep it the same for the category 2 as well, maybe about 105 miles an hour. Then category 3, which I may downgrade that down to 110 miles an hour. So as a category 2 hurricane. So I just gave you pretty much my updated forecast with the intensity here. Hopefully you guys were paying attention to that there. If you didn't pay attention, you can always look back at the video of what I was saying there. So I think 60 miles per hour will be I think it'll be good enough right there. About Thursday, 8 a.m. The tropical storm 45 miles per hour by 8 p.m. Although I probably will downgrade that to probably down to about 40 miles an hour. Then post-tropical depression 30 miles per hour when it gets into, Tennessee, Kentucky, which the cone itself will probably get shifted to the south. And then I'll say it still continue with post-tropical depression 30 miles per hour by Friday night there as well. But this will likely change. You'll probably likely see this change, this code forecast to change by tomorrow here. So that's my cone of uncertainty intensity forecast. I also made this last night and posted onto my Twitter, but it has updated over time, so it's not really completely the same. So I've also made a rainfall forecast as well for the next 5 days. Did not have enough time to update this either, so this is last night is when I made it. So as you can see here, I expected probably some highest rainfall amounts to be really around Alexandria, Lake Charles, Lafayette, about 8 inches right to a foot. I don't think it may reach to a foot. It's definitely possible there. It could reach to a foot, but surrounding that area, this red area in here, that's 5 to 8 inches, which includes Baton Rouge, Shreveport, Monroe, very close to Beaumont there. Then you got two areas of 3 to 5 inches. You got one here for places like Memphis, that's Little Rock right there, Hot Springs, uh, Greenville, Mississippi, uh, there. Then the other 3 to 5 inches rain, which includes places like Louisville, Owensboro, Lexington, and Bowling Green, there as well. And this yellow here, that's 2 to 3 inches, which includes places like Paducah, Nashville, Jackson, Mississippi, and also Jackson, Tennessee, New Orleans, Cincinnati, uh, Ashland or Huntington there as well. Then you got your 1 to 2 inch range, which includes like Houston, St. Louis, Indianapolis, Columbus, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Huntsville, Mobile, and Knoxville. And then you got a trace to an inch, which includes, which is very hard to forecast, but why not do it? Add this into the category. It includes Pensacola, Montgomery, Springfield, Illinois, Columbia, Missouri, and that's really pretty much it there for my rainfall forecast. And like I said, this can likely change as well, which I'll probably likely be updating these forecasts here tonight as well. Although we'll very quickly take a look to the Weather Prediction Center. You can see here for the rainfall forecast here, we'll start off with the Ohio Valley region. You can see here some areas could be seen in those, those kind of those brownish colors. That's about 5 inches of rain. You can see there may be nearing 5 inches rain, at least 4.5 inches of rain in the portions of Kentucky, even northern Mississippi, and of course down into Alabama. I meant Louisiana, my bad. I meant Louisiana. You can see for their forecast for rainfall wise, highest amount 7 inches. I think it could reach a little higher than that. I think it will depend on the speed of the system. If it's going to be moving slow, you'll get higher rainfall amounts. If it can also get stronger as well. If it's moving, faster, you'll get less rainfall amounts, and the tropical system can also be um, a little bit weaker as well. But that's not really going to be the big issue with this system here, forecasting wise. Really, the big issue is going to be the intensity and also pretty much where it's going to be going, at least for landfall wise. We're not 100% sure on that, but we'll have another update this tomorrow on it, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, guys, this is all for you guys today. Hope you guys did enjoy this tropical update. If you guys like this video, hit the like button. If you really do like my channel, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell notifications so you're there for this upload. If you guys have questions about this, you can put in the comment section down below. I want you guys questions, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.